Welcome back. Shifting focus to currency space now, and the Indian rupee hit a one-week highs on hopes of strong capital inflows, strong equities and the upswing in the IIP data yesterday. Though the gains remain capped ahead of the FOMC policy statement later tonight, we have seen nearly 1/10% of a gain coming in, so 49.92 is how rupee is doing. The US dollar is trading at around 11-month highs versus the Japanese yen and 1-month highs versus the euro as well. And the dollar index itself is at a 7-week highs at this point in time. So 80 is just about holding into that one. For more on the currency space, let's go across to Pramit Brahmbhatt. He is CEO Alpari Forex and he joins us from New Delhi. Pramit, hi, welcome to the show. It's quite a loaded week in the Indian markets, international markets. We have budget and credit policy, and the international markets, of course, are looking at FOMC. So amidst all of this, how do you see rupee performing? Pramit maybe cannot hear me. Vijay, how would you look at the Indian rupee with the kind of declines that we have seen in the previous week? Today or this week seems to be consolidating a bit.
You're right, Manisha. For 3 days now, the rupee is exhibiting strength vis-a-vis the USD. And in terms of the first month futures on the NSE, I think one needs to watch the 49.20 as a level where the rupee might just hit in case this momentum continues. Now, 49.20 is not a be-all and end-all level that I'm expecting to come. Probably there will be a lot of slips between the cup and the lip before, if at all, we reach there. But that is the level I'm looking out for. And anything above 50.28 to 50.32, this kind of a tight band on the first month futures, and you could actually see the dollar actually gaining more traction and going towards the previous high of 50.99 in a range. So what you're looking at is a band of 50.90 on the upside and 49.20 in case the rupee does manage to go there.
All right, so you really are bending between somewhere between there. Pramit, what's your take on the rupee? How do you see rupee performing in this week?
Rupee is very close range bound during last few sessions, and we have seen a high of 50.90 and low of around 49.70, and it seems like that it's in a tight range of 49.80 to 50.20, and either side the breakout will take the further decision that which way rupee can move. But it seems like that the global factor is creating a lot of effect on the rupee. If you see that the correlation of euro dollar with the rupee is moving according to the international markets. So it seems that for rupee to break out on the either side, euro also has to move accordingly, and it will be a close range, as I said, between 49.80 to 50.20.
There have been some reports quoting 51 as well before we end this quarter. Pramit, are you so bearish, or would you say the current range would continue more or less?
I won't be surprised even if it reaches at 51 level, because during last week we have seen the futures moving to 50.90, and the budget is around the corner. Any disappointment from the market can definitely push rupee to 51 level. But we have to see whether rupee can sustain that level or not, because that is more important rather than touching that level. So I won't be surprised even if it reaches 51 level.
Pramit, while we have discussed the domestic issues, as you pointed out, much of the cues would come in from the euro-dollar equation as well. How do you see the euro performing then?
If we see all the major currencies against the dollar, dollar is strengthening over the period, as you pointed out about the yen, and the same thing with the euro. It seems that euro is trying to break out from 1.30 to 20 level and try to go beyond that. It did succeed in last 2 weeks or so, but not able to sustain at that level. I see that there should be some sort of support comes from Eurozone, and the stronger news will help Euro to remain above that level. And in case any news comes from the US zone where US economy is not doing very well, then that will also help Euro to go above that level. But at this point of time, US is very quiet, and the oil price is also helping dollar to get stronger. If you see the correlation between the oil and the dollar, it's a very highly correlated, and one of the reasons for dollar to get stronger is the oil price at this point of time.
Vijay, how do you look at the dollar index trading at multi-month highs versus various currencies? Do you see 80 holding, and what kind of a run-up are you expecting on that one?
Manisha, the dollar index is basically exhibiting strength, and I do feel even if it was to decline below the 80 levels, the decline will A, be brief, and B, it'll be shallow, and I do expect 79.80 odd levels to hold for now. As long as 70.80 levels hold, I think there is traction left to go to basically 80.40 to 80.45 levels. My view is basically valid for the next 48 hours.
Pramit, what would you say ahead of FOMC? What kind of a move are you expecting in the dollar index?
I think dollar index will remain stronger above the 79-80 levels. As we mentioned that one of the key factors at this point of time supporting dollar is oil prices, and I think that FOMC is not going to be a big surprise, so that way dollar will remain stronger.
How about the commodity currencies, Pramit? Because the kind of sell-off that we have seen in commodities in the later half of Feb and much of March as well has dented the growth in those high yielders as well. How would you look at an Australian dollar or a New Zealand dollar for the very near term?
I think all these currencies fall into the same basket about the growth story in the respective countries. As we have seen that there is a high inflation rate has affected India, and the growth story has been affected. And to add into that now the concern about the global scenario, specifically in the Middle East, because the commodity currency cannot do good until there is a high demand in the global scenario, and if there is a unrest in any part of the world, that is going to cause concern about the commodity currency. So we may see that there can be some further issues with the commodity currency, considering the global growth story in the mind.
Pramit, one word on Japanese yen, which is trading at 11-month lows versus the US dollar. Do you see 85 incoming?
I would say that dollar yen always moves in a one pattern in every time, that if dollar is getting weaker, then we do not see any end to it, and we may expect to go to up to 72 levels. I would say that we have to look at on the weekly basis scenario here. It can go up to 85 with lots of conditions where if we see that oil prices are going up, if it goes above $115, $120, then we may even see the 85 levels. At this point of time, Japan as a domestic economy also facing the issue. So in that case, if we see any support coming from within the economy, then dollar will have a strong resistance. But if we don't see that, and the oil prices are pushing up, then in that case we'll see that it can reach up to 85 level. But we have to check this on the weekly basis rather than expecting it to move 85 straight away. If you look at from the technical point of view, 80 is a very strong support for dollar, so we can expect it to go up on higher side.
All right, Pramit, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Vijay, as well, for giving out strategies on commodities and currencies. So expect a bit of a decline in rupee, but strength in US dollar index is what our strategists are pointing at. And if you want answers for your commodity trade or currency trades, our experts here at ET Now will be happy to answer your queries. Write to us at hotcommodities@etnow.tv. With that, it's wrap on Hot Commodities. Up next is Rasha. Thanks for watching.